Welcome to the second ever podcast episode. I'm here with my good friend Eli, and he is also known as the YouTubist. His channel has about 160 subscribers, right?
Yes, sir, 163, all because of those Russian bots you gave me.
Yeah, so his channel is going to be down in the description below. Give him some love. He definitely deserves it. His videos are some of the funniest videos out there on YouTube right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. Tell me just a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Eli, the YouTubist. I used to be called the Complainist Show. That's when I was really starting out with YouTube, because I had no idea what kind of content I wanted to make. The first ever YouTube video that I have on the channel is just like me introducing what kind of videos I'll make, and I ended up like not making any videos about what I said I was gonna do. I have a lot of cringe content, a lot of early cringe content on my channel, but recently I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, and it's just kind of make a variety YouTube show that has different topics to talk about. So right now I have to admit I've been kind of slow on uploads. I'm still working on my second podcast episode, the Farts Are Funny podcast, with some friends from Tyler, Texas. But the next video that I'm thinking of making is either an ideist video where I talk about ideas I have. I want to talk about like ideas for a new Battlefield game, because I like the Battlefield series a lot. Or I'll make a comedy skit, kind of top 5 videos about like the top 5 animals that I hate and I want to be like extinct. So those are the 2 videos I'm thinking of making. I'll probably make the animal one because it's an idea I've had for a long time. I just think it's really funny that, you know, someone makes a top 5 about animals that he wants eradicated from the earth, which I think is funny. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of videos on your mind. What streaming platforms are you currently doing for your podcast? Is it just YouTube?
Yeah, just YouTube. Just our first episode we recorded on Zoom, and then our second one we recorded on Discord, and then I'll just like put that on YouTube. I'm not really big into social media. I only use YouTube and then this awful Russian meme app called iFunny that has like either some really interesting people that I will never forget, or some really terrible people that I will never forget. So
Have you thought about using Reddit before? Because like Reddit is like, it's what I use to promote a lot of my stuff.
Okay. So Matthew and I have talked about this before, because I guess we should put that out there that we both go to the same school. We're both in the same major now. I just transferred to radio, television, and film, and Matthew got into radio, television, film in last semester, right? It was
last semester was my first semester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're both taking that, and we've had 2 classes so far with each other, and a lot of times we'll talk about what's going on iFunny from my end, and then he'll talk about what's going on Reddit. So if you don't know, iFunny users hate Reddit, and Reddit users hate iFunny because they usually steal content from each other. In the early days of iFunny, they would take content from Reddit because iFunny was not as popular back then, and so they needed content desperately, and so that's why people would take content from Reddit. And now it's kind of the opposite, where everyone can argue the origin of certain memes, right? But a lot of iFunniers like to brag and think that they make a lot of new memes that you see now on Reddit that Reddit likes to take. So some of that is true, some of that isn't. But have I ever considered using Reddit? Not really. It doesn't interest me that much. Also, the format is confusing for me. I don't get the whole subreddit thing. So
the subreddit part is like the best aspect of it, because like you have like general like themes of what you're posting, you could find a subreddit probably for each theme and be like, hey, here's a video I made about this theme. There's a whole dedicated subreddit for it. Like this video that I just came out with, pumped up kicks on trombone, I posted that on the trombone subreddit and the foster the people subreddit. And that combined had a ton of traffic going straight to my video, and that's why my video is less than 24 hours old and it has almost 180 views on it right now. So
and by the way, congratulations on that. I guess if there's one thing I want to say about it is that it's not my favorite music video that you've done, but it is by far my favorite how do I say it? It's composition? No.
Your recording?
Yeah, my favorite music recording that you've done. I think like the way that you mix the trombones and other forms of percussion in there and all that jazz. I'm not a music person, so I'm just saying whatever. But
I get it. My brother helped me out a lot to that, and once again, he is an audio engineer up in the Dallas area, and he's done sound for like big bands like let me try to think of some people like Charlie Puth. He's run sound for him. Walk the Moon. The band that he tours with is called Colony House. They're pretty popular. He's done for 1972 or whatever, the 1972. So he's done a bunch of big bands. Well, I told him, I sent him the recording of the version 1 that I had done myself, and he was like, just send me the stems. And like the stems are just like the audio recordings of each individual instrument. And he was like, send me the stems. And then like 5 minutes later, he sent me like a Dropbox link of the song, and he's like, I spent like 15 minutes on this, and it was so much better. And he was like, I'll do this for you. And I was like, how much do you want? And he was just like, I'll do it for free. And so he ended up just recording, or not recording, but he ended up mixing and mastering the whole thing, and he made it sound just like great, better than I could have ever done it. But he also does that professionally, so super cool. My brother, I'll probably put his stuff down in the description as well again, because all he said was just make sure you credit me. I was like, all right.
I mean, nowadays like shout outs is more valuable than money. It's definitely more valuable than any Bitcoin out there, so
yeah, for sure. I will say the music video was a lot easier to do than a lot of the other ones, because with these trombone, with these trombone videos, I try to do it in the style of the music video, the actual official music video. And the official music video for Pumped Up Kicks was just like this, just B-roll of just them like playing and walking around and doing random stuff. So I took that same effort and just played a bunch of B-roll that I had stocked out from all these different videos that I've done.
And I guess a funny story we could like quickly tell is that I was really convinced that the official Pumped Up Kicks video was that fan made one in the lunchroom that actually like replicated an actual school shooting. And I remember in the music video, the way to defeat the shooters was to get up and to dance. And then like the police came in. That's what I remember from it. But it was like a really odd video. And when you proposed that idea of making the trombone video very similar to their music video, I was like, how are you going to make a school shooting like reenactment for your trombone video? But then you told me that the Foster the People official one was just like a bunch of B-roll. And I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. Which is better and also a lot more convenient for you, so...
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like, out of the 4 videos I've done, this one was the second easiest like actual video recording that I've had to do, because all I had to do was record green screen footage, and then just I had to go through all my files and find B-roll footage of like myself and stuff that I felt like fit into the video. So it was the video aspect of things took me probably 3 or 4 days to do, but the recordings took me like almost a month to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me personally, my favorite music video that you've done is the one for Toto Africa.
I spent a lot of time doing that one. It took me probably 2 or 3 weeks to do the music, but it took me like 3 or 4 weeks to do the video side of things.
But it paid off. It's an entertaining video. I showed my mom and she was very impressed by it.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that video didn't take off like this one is doing.
It should have.
Like
it should have.
I might try posting it again on the trombone subreddit, because when I posted it originally on the trombone subreddit, it got like 5 to 10 upvotes on it, and this one that I just posted, I just put OC in the title, so like for original content, and it got like 80 to 90 upvotes on it, so it did just a lot better than my other video did. So I might try posting that again, but that video gets like 5 to 10 views a week still, so it's doing decent. It's just not as much effort into. I put a lot more effort than I'm getting out of it.
Well, I guess going back to Reddit, I guess one thing I do like about it is, well, one, I'm assuming that it is easier to get traction for a video that you'd want people to go see through Reddit, because even though I haven't posted any of my videos on my iFunny that has it has about 3,200 subscribers, so I'm pretty proud of that. But however, it's like you'll post a content that you think that is really good, and it'll only get up to like 100 likes or something like that, despite having 3,000 subscribers or something like that. So if I were to post a video on there, I don't think it would get people going over to my channel, and I think that Reddit is a lot easier for you to do that. I'm assuming, at least.
I know there's a bunch of YouTubers that got their start on Reddit. Personally, I know of Gus Johnson. When he was a small YouTuber, he used to put stuff on Reddit, or other people would put on Reddit, and they would get thousands of upvotes. And so like he always thanks people from Reddit for coming over to his channel, because his stuff is always on Reddit. Like you always see little clips of it. One of my favorite videos actually is from him, and it's this like short 9-second clip, and he's like, I'm going to bed, I'm gonna check to see if there's any stabbers in the house, and he like creeps around this corner, and he's like looking down the stairs, and he's like, hey, are there any stabbers down there? And this guy with like a balaclava, like when a knife comes around the corner, and he goes, no, it's okay.
Wait, that was Gus Johnson?
Yeah, that's Gus Johnson.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
He also has this other video that's like it's this hymnal, or it's like this book of music, and it says music of the African American like culture or something like that, and and then he opens it up, and he's sitting at the piano, and he starts playing oh shoot, what is it? Yeah, by Usher and Lil Jon. Dun 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 dun, and he's like, yeah.
I guess did he have his start on Vine as well? Was he a Viner?
I don't think so. I think he was a little later in the. I think he was not a little late. I think he was on YouTube before Vine was a huge hit. So he's just been on YouTube for like before Vine was a thing. So maybe he was on Vine, but he didn't get popular because of Vine like a lot of YouTubers did.
I guess
like Cody Ko.
I used to subscribe to him because I got like hooked with his smaller skits, but then I feel like as they got longer and longer, I don't know, I just found them less funny. My favorite Gus Johnson content is the little music videos he does, or the little songs that are about kind of whatever. Yeah. My favorite one being the cigarette eater, where he's like, I eat cigarettes 10 packs a day.
Yeah, he's such a genius creator, and he's been going on tour lately, and all his shows have been selling out. So he's doing really good content, and he's such a wholesome creator too.
Does he do stand up? Is that his thing, or does he like do the bullshit? What do you call it? I don't know, because there's some YouTubers that will do tours, but it's as if they're filming a YouTube video, but live with a bunch of people, so that they can have their dick sucked at the end and be like, look how many people are looking at me, you know? I know that someone like, I always forget her name, but the one who runs Superwoman, Do you know her name? She had that. Oh, Lily Singh. Do you know about Lily Singh?
Sort of.
Okay. Well, I don't like her. She's a bitch, and I hate her. She's not funny. She's like a disgrace to all female comedians. Like she makes people not like female comedians, and it's like, well, that's because you're looking at Lily Singh. You need to look like a little deeper and more, for better content. But either way, she did tours, and I can only imagine how painfully unfunny her tours are. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he does stand up, I believe. He was gonna go on tour again for like his second or third time right before all this coronavirus stuff hit, and unfortunately he had to cancel all his shows and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's such a wholesome creator. He just hit 2 million subscribers, and he was like, I'm he was talking about how he's still recording on the same camera that he's had since he started his channel and everything, and him and his girlfriend are really cute too.
Yeah, I do I think he's very creative, even though I don't find all of his content very funny personally. But as far as music goes, I think he's very talented music wise, and just making those little jingles. I like that. Have you watched any of his commentary videos though? Those videos that last more like 15 minutes.
Yeah, he did one over Chris Brown that was really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His commentary videos are really good because he knows how to make people laugh and entertained, and a lot of the times they're over stuff I don't really care about. Like, I don't care about Chris Brown, but the way he did it was just like interesting,
Okay. I guess talking about content creators, what content on YouTube have you been consuming recently?
Recently I've been really into, well, actually this is a really small channel. I'll probably plug him in the description if I remember him, but it's this really small creator, and he commented on one of my videos, and I discovered him like 3 or 4 days after he created his channel, and he's making a video every single day for the month of June. And his name is Eric Flynn. It's ERIC and FLYN, maybe with a second N. But he's been making a video every single day, and he releases them like late at night. But he's got a lot of potential. So I've been watching a lot of his videos. I've been watching a lot of photography stuff. So I watch this YouTuber who actually subscribed to me. She's got like 8,000 subscribers, but her name is Madison B. And I watch this other YouTuber called Astro Backyard. He's obviously does astrophotography. Let me look on my thing real quick to see what else I'm into right now, because go ahead.
What kind of videos does that first guy make?
The Eric Flynn guy?
Yeah.
It's like daily vlogs. So like he's on day 10 now. So the first couple of ones were just vlogs about his daily life and what he was doing. So like he was farm sitting for someone, and so he was just making. They're all short. They're all like, with the exception of. We should just change your background.
Oh.
He, with the exception of like one video, they're all under 5 minutes long. So,
Okay.
they're just like short little like clips that I don't mind watching. I took like my 4 alt accounts and I subscribed to them. So
your Russian bot accounts.
My Russian bot accounts. But yeah, his last 3 videos have been the reason why like I'm interested in him is because he's a photographer, and we followed each other on our photography accounts, but he has been posting some photography related stuff. So his last 3 videos were about he took an old World War II camera apart, and he's putting a webcam in it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he's got 8 subscribers now, and half of them are me, so that's pretty cool.
Well, best of luck to that guy. I hope that everything goes all right.
Yeah, I want to like make a video dedicated to just like plugging him because his account is so interesting. I just want to see where he goes in the month of June, whether or not it's like actually worth promoting him or not. I'm sure it will be, but it's just really cool that I found a young YouTuber that has aspiration and drive. And there's not many YouTubers out there like that other than like myself and you that are just like wanting to become like famous.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like popular.
There's Will Smith though. He's pretty aspiring. He doesn't have many subscribers, and not many people know him. I don't know. Do you know this guy named Will Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, he's. You do? Oh, I'm surprised. He's not very well known, but he's also kind of like us. He's an aspiring YouTuber, just trying to get into the game. It's not like he makes movies or anything, but yeah.
No. It's hot. But one of my favorite YouTuber right now is this guy called Grainy Days. I absolutely just love his content. He makes photography related stuff, but his content is so good that like I feel like anybody could watch it and just be entertained by him. He's just like knows how to make it just interesting, and he's only got like 25,000 subscribers. Let me see how many he has. Oh, sorry, he has 54,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
But I love every single one of his videos. I've loved, and there's not many YouTubers out there that like every single video that they make is good. Okay. I watch every single video when it comes out, and I love every single one of his. And he's only got a handful of videos, like maybe 20 to 25. So that's pretty cool. And he posts like once a week or so. Okay.
Content that I've been watching is less. Oh no, my screen stopped recording. Gotta go back and do that. Okay. Content that I've been watching is less artistically driven as what you're watching right now. Sadly, I've been getting more into kind of reality. I would call reality internet. It's like reality TV, but with internet personalities. And you can argue that it's really sad. And it is. I just changed my background right now. So, have you ever heard of the legend of Weston Chandler?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
This man, now identifies as a woman, as Christine Weston Chandler, is perhaps the most well-recorded human in history. Almost every single day of his life, and I'm saying almost, because not everything's been recorded, but almost every single day of his life has been recorded on the internet, where there's even like a documentary series, each about 40 to 50 minutes long, about this guy. And the person who makes these documentaries talks about every single piece of recording about this person. It's a series, right? Imagine each video is about 40 to 50 minutes long. There's like 38 of those videos, and they're not even halfway to what he's done on the internet. But he's like an example of someone who he suffers from autism, from highly functioning autism, but he does have a creative mind, and there has been multiple times in his life where he could have gotten out of this hole of just staying at home with his parents and just being a terrible content creator on the internet. But every time he's tried, he's always just back to square one. So right now I've been obsessed with learning more about this person, even though I shouldn't. It's terrible. But, I mean, like, a lot of channels on the TV, like TLC, make money off of people's misery and all that stuff. So I'm just continuing what a lot of Americans like to watch nowadays. But I've been getting into him. There's this other guy named Wings of Redemption, who's like probably the saddest streamer on Twitch ever. He's like this guy that no one likes, and the only reason he gets views is for people to just bully him and type terrible things in the chat. So I'm sorry mine was kind of a buzzkill. I just been watching terrible content recently. I guess I will just say real quick, I guess the only like worthwhile content I have been watching, do you know these guys named Corridor Digital?
No, I don't.
They make VFX shorts, and they have a separate channel called Corridor Crew, which is like the behind the scenes of how they make their shorts. But they have this series that I've just been addicted to, and I think you'd like it too. It's these guys that review different VFX shots in movies, and they'll break it down on how it's been done, or how they think it's been done, with giving you like some tutorials or some behind the scenes of how VFX work, or sometimes how practical effects work, how stunts work. So for someone who likes film, and you like film as well, we're both RTF, I definitely recommend watching, it's called VFX Artists React, and it's not like the bullshit, what do they call? Remember the Fine Brothers?
Yeah.
It's not Fine Brothers reaction where it's just they're just going, whoa, that's so epic and cool, that's so wholesome and cool. It's like, no, they're gonna tell you everything about it. They're gonna be like, yeah, in this shot in the Shadow of Mordor series, they used this kind of VFX. They used the Unity engine. It's a very, very educational. So that's probably the most worthwhile content I've been watching recently. So.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be really big into like watching a lot of cinematography stuff, which is like for a reason. For that was kind of like a reason why I was like, I want to be a cinematographer for a while, is because I had such a huge fascination with like how people created like certain effects through camera work in films and stuff like that. So, but now I just want to be a photographer.
Yeah. Well, where do you see yourself when you graduate with an RTF major?
I mean, I want to use the degree mostly to build connections so I can get a job. I don't necessarily concern myself like what can I do with an RTF degree. It's more like what connections can I build through an RTF degree.
Okay. So you're using it more as a tool than actually like going into a job that has to do with radio, television, and film?
Exactly, yeah. Because if I end up doing photography like full time, I need as many connections as I can, because otherwise I'm going to be struggling. Because photography is such a risky business.
Yeah.
And you know, before all this COVID stuff went down, I was actually like, I had some really good connections, and I was about to be doing some really good things that could set me up for the future. Like, I was about to go shoot for this band called Glass Healer and get paid to do it. It was my first ever paid gig. And unfortunately, the gig was like right after spring break, so, you know, we know what happened. But, you know, one of my biggest goals right now is I really, really want to get picked up by a band and go shoot for them. Go tour with them or something, so who knows.
Well, hopefully next time, and also I guess just be aggressive, you know. You gotta fight for it. You gotta fight for your right.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing really you can do whenever fucking COVID hits. So.
Well, so you see yourself as like a photographer that's going to be going out and working with different people just to like record what they're doing. So you're not, are you interested in, how would I say this? Because in my mind, I'm not a photographer. I'm not really in that field at all. But in my mind, I think of like different kinds of jobs that photographers have, and one of them is just kind of like any artist, where instead of paintings, they just take really beautiful pictures, print them out on huge canvases, and then just expect people to buy them or go to art shows with them. Do you see yourself doing that or no?
I mean, the thing about that is it's such a niche thing, and you have to have a name for yourself before you can even like get into that. And
True.
I know it takes years and years and years of work before you can even begin to like sell your own prints like that, like in an art gallery. I mean, I am selling my work. I just started selling it on my website, but no one's bought it yet, and I don't really care too much about people buying my work at this moment, because I only have 3 pictures up for sale, and the minimum, like the cheapest one is like an 8x10, and I think it's like $50 or something like that, which is a lot to pay for a picture like a print, but you know, at the same time, it's like this is printed on special material. I put my work and effort into this with my expensive camera setup and everything, so it's like I, you know, need to make a profit somehow. But do I ever see myself getting to that point? No. I think that kind of photography is boring in a sense. Like, I love to print my stuff out really large. I love doing that. I have 2 large prints. Well, 3. I gave one to my girlfriend. I printed it out for her anniversary, and it's my favorite picture I've ever taken. And then it's the picture of a tree and a moon, and it's a really beautiful picture. It's my favorite picture I've ever taken. Again. And I have another large printout of the Austin skyline with reflection on the water of it, and it's a really nice picture. It's soothing. And then I have another large printout of this picture of a lighthouse I took in Maine. I love the colors of that photo, but I love printing out my work like really big, like 24, 36 inches, and looking at it. It's really cool to look at your work in like a large format and be like, I did this, and it looks just professional, you know? So I love that aspect of it, but I don't know if I would ever get into like the whole art gallery stuff, because it's kind of hard to get into.
Well, now that I think about it, it's also because I mean, you have most of your photos online, and people can just kind of take from those and print it themselves. And I feel like a photography artist, like you said, has to kind of rely on their name first, other than their craft. Because the opposite, I feel like it's the opposite with paintings. A lot of painters get their names kind of forgotten because they all kind of sound the same. But it's their paintings that define them. And also, I guess like the nice thing about having a painting is that you can physically see, and you can even physically touch the way that it's been made. Which, okay, I'm gonna go on another rant. I really appreciate traditional paintings where it's actually something, and you can see something, and it's and you can feel what the artist was emoting while painting it. What I don't like is paintings where it's just kind of a blank canvas, and then it has just kind of whatever on there, and then the artist goes, well, I was depressed at the time, that's what I felt like doing. And it's like, yeah, well, you could have been
$12 million.
Yeah, and it's worth like it's like half of my house right now, you know. It's worth that much. And I'm going, you know, you can either believe him, and he was actually depressed while he was making this, so of course it has so much meaning and so much weight behind this amazing work of art, right? But he could be also lying. Like, I can guarantee you that one of these days I will make a painting where I just kind of like take a shit on a piece of canvas and just kind of smear it all over the place, and then I'll say, well, this actually represents my father, who would beat me a lot, and which my dad doesn't. He's the sweetest man ever. He wouldn't hurt a fly. But you tell that to a crowd of people, they're gonna believe you. They're gonna eat that shit up, and they're gonna buy your shit smear painting for, you know, $1 million, right? Because it has a story behind it. So
it reminds me of the duct tape banana.
Exactly. But then, in a sense, I can still respect it, though, because, like, with me when it comes to painting art, it's really 50-50, because sometimes I really hate people who do no effort and get a lot of credit from their art that is like a couple dots on a canvas, and then they say that it represents something. But at the same time, I think like the beauty of paintings is how anyone can see anything they want in a painting, right? Even a bullshit Jackson Pollock painting where it's just kind of whatever, right? Someone can see something different from the person that is next to them, right? You might look at it and say, oh, this kind of makes me feel a little sad. It makes me feel like this guy was really angry while he was making it. Or I could think, oh, this looks really happy. I think that he was really happy when he made this. So in a sense, I can respect what I call, I guess, avant-garde art, where it's just kind of whatever. But at the same time, I mean, duct tape banana on a wall, and it's good. How much that sell for? How much that sell for? You
I
know?
think it was like 250,000 or something. Let me look it up real quick. And someone ate it too off the wall. Duct tape banana price. 120,000.
Oh wow.
But there's a video of someone ripping it off the wall and then eating it.
Isn't that Dadaism? Dadaism is like that type of art where you just don't care and you purposely try to make an art. Like there was this one artist, this Dada artist, that would purposely just deface classic Renaissance paintings. Like he completely repainted the Mona Lisa, like perfectly, but then he just added a mustache on her and then he sold that. Or, I don't know if he sold that, but it's Dada.
What is it called?
Dada is Dada and then ism, Dadaism. There's also another.
Dadaism art.
There's also another one that's pretty popular. It's the one where it's like a urinal, and it has someone's signature on it.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the first picture that comes up, and then the second one is the Mona Lisa with the mustache.
Yeah. So even though it's stupid, I respect that too, because it's like, why not?
Yeah, it's satirical. It was formed in the First World War. It's avant-garde.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, the mustache one it's got a little goatee too. little whatever soul patch. It's pretty funny.
Well, rant over, but I guess going back to photography, one way that you could sell your photos is just, get on that grind and make the name, Matt Lewis, an actual household name, so that when you put these pictures out in a white room for a bunch of wine-sipping bureaucrats to look at them, and they'll actually buy it. Not necessarily but because of the picture, but because Matt Lewis is behind it. So I hope there will be a day like that for you, buddy.
Maybe. I feel like I'm doing all the right steps towards success, but I'm not quite there yet. Even with my YouTube channel that now has 253 subscribers, which is more than I could have even imagined whenever I first started this channel. Even now, I'm still just man, I wish I could just have a few more subscribers. And when I reach that, I'm like, I wish I could have a few more,
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the term of success? Because success to one person could mean just having any pictures for sale, whether or not they're selling it at all.
Yeah.
And another term could be actually selling them. So, I don't know.
Well, if you're happy, then I think that's the biggest success you can have, is just be happy making content. Don't think of it as a job, just think of it as something you actually like making. So
yeah, and you were the one that originally told me that my YouTube videos lacked my personality or something like that, and I took that. Well, it wasn't that exact wording. It was more just you were saying how my YouTube videos seem to lack a lot of emotion and stuff like that. And I took that and I ran with it, and I said, you know what I need to do? I need to just not think of a script. Well, think of a script, but not follow it, and just speak straight from my heart, speak straight from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing that, and I noticed my videos started to get more views and stuff like that, and better watch time and stuff, and I started getting a lot more subscribers just from doing that. So props to you for telling me to put more emotion in my videos. I can tell you what video it was too, because I went back and rewatched it recently. I went back and watched all my videos and saw the progress that I made. It was my New England road trip video. You watched it and you were you were talking about how I was I did this and then I did this, and it's so exciting and very fun. And I watched that video recently, a couple days ago, and I was like, damn, I really was like that. So.
Well, I hope I didn't come off like too brutal. I don't know.
No, you weren't brutal at all. It was a very like good thing that you told me, because if you didn't tell me that, I would have continued making content like that, and I probably would not have been at the place that I'm at now, because I released that video almost a year ago, and I had 106 or 170 subscribers, because I just saw my photos from 1 year ago that I had 169 subscribers. So, you know, it definitely worked, because here I am almost 100 subscribers later, and probably 6,000 more channel views on top of what I had last year. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's enough about my YouTube channel and everything. What videos have you been making that you feel like you're doing good stuff with?
I guess
Wait, before you start this, can I share my absolutely favorite video of yours? It's the Ottoman Empire video. I love that video so much. But the music's like and you're just like you're dancing with like a gun.
that one's like, oh god, that one's so bad. I mean, it's like, it's funny, I guess, but what's so stupid about it is that like it's not even Turkish music though.
Yeah, I saw someone commented about that.
It's Punjab. It's Punjab music. It has nothing to do with Turkey at all. But for some, in my idiot like high school mind, when I made that video, I was like, this sounds a little Turkish, so I'm just gonna do that and be an idiot. I guess one video I was really happy about recently was the blaxploitation one, and
yeah, before you deleted it on accident.
I accidentally deleted it. Now it's got like 15 views instead of the 100 it had before, but whatever. That was my mistake. What makes me sad about it now is that there was kind of motivation behind making that video, and it was because it was part of a school project as well that I had to do for a class. And so there was reason for me to make it and make it as good as I could, and now I don't have that motivation anymore, and that's one of my biggest weaknesses, is that sometimes I really, really lack motivation, which is why like I prefer making podcasts, because I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot easier. You just talk with a friend, you record it, and then
it's so easy.
You just put it on, and that's it. You expect people to like it, you know. So
unfortunately, most people are not going to even make it to this part of the video, other than like very close friends or something like that. So
I guess.
But for those people that do make it, we get that watch time, that sweet watch time, you know.
Welcome to welcome people who are still watching like to this point, or even welcome to the people who skipped ahead. If you're getting to this point, then congratulations.
What's your watch time at on your channel?
It's about the same. It's like 3 to 5 minutes.
Like, what's your overall, like, how many watch hours do you have?
You're recording on Zoom, right?
Yes.
Because I just realized I keep on cutting back to things on the internet, but I'm like screen recording. Like, I'm not Zoom recording. So there's times where I'm like searching up stuff, and I'm still recording it. So
no, yeah, I'm recording on Zoom, so I keep looking at your channel and stuff like that. So
okay, it's
not gonna show up on my end of things.
Well, then I will stop screen recording then, because it's kind of pointless. But yeah, let me check. Let me see.
I use a really good app called YT Tracker, and it keeps track of how many subscribers and watch time I have. So
yeah.
And it tells you like how much you've gained or lost since the last time you refreshed. So for the last 12 months, I have 225 hours of watch time, which is not that much. It's pretty low.
Yeah, bro, dude, I use Social Blade like everyone else.
Social Blade, yeah.
What even is Social Blade?
Social Blade is, I don't think they can show you anymore because your subscriber count is not public anymore or whatever. it only goes by like after you hit like 1,000 subscribers or so, it only shows like up to like the hundreds of it.
Okay, so so there's a total watch time. Is that in hours usually?
Yes, usually.
Okay, so mine is 9.7, and apparently it's told me it's gone up by 4%. And then my average view duration is 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and it claims to gone up by 15%. So, I don't know. I think it's funny how we're talking about these channels like we're PewDiePie, but I guess we gotta start somewhere. PewDiePie didn't. You know, he started somewhere. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I see you updated your channel art to my suggestion or whatever, to where you could show, or was that, did you already have that up or something, like where it showed the what each of the borders meant and everything?
No, it was off of your suggestion of like having, you know, a way to present people that would just be on the channel and see that, oh, okay, if it has a different color border, that means it's probably going to fall under that topic. So I just remade the channel art to have little indicators under each color. So
yeah, that's really cool. I like that idea a lot. And honestly, because like I watched the channel intro, but I don't remember like any of the topics or the colors or anything. So that's really cool. I love the way that it looks. It's for our audio listeners. Well, I guess you can't really see it regardless, but it's just a bunch of silhouette dudes wearing glasses, and the glasses show the color of the video that he's like the border color of the videos and what they mean.
Well,
or
not to self-advertise, but just go check it out yourself. Just click that link in the description below.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. Your videos get pretty consistent high views, with the exception of like your couple of recent videos. But your podcast episode, the one that was an hour and a half long, got 35 views. That's 3 times greater than my podcast episode.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I think it's just dumb luck. Also, I mean, we're all starting out from kind of nothing, and at least I think what you got going forward for you is your talent in photography, and also you have uploaded more than me, so nice crotch shot, dude.
Sorry, I had to plug in my laptop.
That's staying in.
They're not gonna see it because you were talking.
Oh, that's what it does?
Yeah, so
recording?
it's really... Yeah, I don't know how much you watched of my other podcast, but whoever's speaking, that will be the main screen.
Oh, okay. So I thought you edit it, and then I realized, yeah, but either way,
No.
you still didn't.
No, that would be a lot of editing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible though, and I would even suggest like editing podcast audio. That's what I did for the other ones, because there'll be times where you say something you don't really want to, and right now is not really the time to say something a little, so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, your channel's doing good stuff. I love a lot of the content that you put out. It's very different from what I see on YouTube, and I really hope your channel takes off.
Yeah,
at some point.
You too. And even if it doesn't, like I don't expect this to be a job or anything. It's just where I can put my stupid content that I think is worthwhile, and I have to admit, like I've been a lot more involved in iFunny, because one, it's easier. You can make shorter content, and you don't have to put as much effort into it. And also it's based on my passion of, okay, now it's time for Eli to talk about his infatuation with World War I history. But pretty much one of my biggest passions in life, and it's probably the biggest one ever, is you like photography, and I love World War One history. Like, I can't explain to you how much that shit fascinates me so badly. And on iFunny, that's what my whole channel is based about. It's just iFunny. It's just World War One memes, World War One information videos, stuff like that. And one of my great pleasures of having that page is to like make a meme about some obscure moment in that war, and then actually teach people about something they might have not known about before. I really like doing that. It's I like it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean that's a really interesting thing that you're into for sure. I used to be obsessed with history, but not anymore. To the point that like I tried to stay out of history because I know that there's a lot of history buffs, so I don't tend to say anything anymore because I don't want to get overexerted by someone else or something.
Yeah. Well, there are definitely some toxic history buffs, and then there's some that are like you wouldn't even want to call them history buffs, and it's like the conspiracy theory cloud where it's like, oh yeah, I love history, but I also like that part of history that not a lot of people know about, and you're like, oh okay, like a weird war or like a civil conflict in a third world country that no one knows about. It's like, nah, dude, I like that stuff about how like, did you know that Hitler is still alive? I mean, just look at the facts. It's like people like that shouldn't exist. It's like you're not a historian. You're a fucking buffoon, you know?
Yeah. But if you send me your iFunny stuff, I will link that in the description below too. So
I don't want anyone going on there. It's
you don't want it?
One of the I will say, and this is also a disclaimer because iFunny gets a lot of bad publicity. It's like 4chan's younger cousin that it could be even worse than 4chan. It is a shithole of a meme app, because you have the feature section, which is just repeats from Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So you'll see nothing original there. But then you go into a subsection that we like to call the underground section of iFunny, and that is just filled with people with like the worst opinions imaginable, at least in my opinion, because they have a lot of groupthink mentality of like, oh, this guy got like 3,000 likes about how right now these riots are actually planned by the government, you know, and people will eat that shit up. So, and hopefully no iFunniers that actually like follow me watch this podcast, because then that's it. My iFunny career is over, because they're also very they're very gatekeepy as well. They don't like people talking about iFunny outside of iFunny because, I guess a little history lesson. There was a couple times there have been users that have been arrested, or even the most infamous case was this guy who used iFunny who ended up killing his roommate. And it turned out that he was part of a white supremacist group. So of course that doesn't make the app look very good. But when it is good and you meet actually creative people that have, you know, a good mindset, that don't believe in conspiracy theories, it can be a nice time. And you can argue that for any social media site. But even Reddit has some really stupid, crazy people in there that will believe anything. So
yeah, for sure.
I feel like I go on these long rants. I'm sorry, Matthew. It's just
no, it's good. So I won't put your iFunny in the description though.
I mean, it's not like I post anything bad on there. It's also like, I bet it's only if you're really interested in World War One history. If that's not your thing at all, then you're not gonna like my content. You're gonna think it's puzzling and boring. So, there you go.
So it's a very niche thing.
Yes.
But I don't think it really matters anyways, because we're like 50 minutes into this, and I don't think anybody's going to be watching at this point.
Yeah.
Drop a comment, honestly. If you're to this point, drop a comment down below.
Yeah, what? I'm going to say a keyword, and if you know the keyword, you know, put it in the comments to let us know that you watched this far. Okay, the keyword is Jackie Brown. I'm
Jackie
only saying
Brown.
that. I'm only saying that because right next to me I have a DVD for the audio listeners. I have a DVD set of all the Quentin Tarantino movies on Blu-ray, and right there it says Jackie Brown, which is a pretty decent
That's
movie.
a good movie.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's not my favorite Tarantino film.
What would you say is your favorite Tarantino film?
I'm a big sucker for Pulp Fiction. Hold on, let me pull up the big Tarantino.
Oh wait,
films.
I can tell you right now. Okay, so we got Reservoir Dogs. I haven't seen that. What do you think of that?
Reservoir Dogs. That's a good movie. You'd probably like it being. It's about World War II, and they're a bunch of Nazi killers. Basically, that's the premise of the movie.
Oh,
It's in an
Inglourious
alternate-
Bastards.
Sorry, that's Inglourious Bastards. Sorry. Sorry, I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs. That's like the only Tarantino film that I haven't seen. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. That was a really bad mix-up.
No, it's okay. I mean, I've seen Inglourious Bastard. That's a pretty good one. I'd say it's my second favorite.
I like that movie a lot. The acting in it is some of the best acting I've ever seen, especially Brad Pitt. But
Gorlami. his Italian accent. Arrivederci. Some good moments.
But yeah, I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs yet. That's like one of the only Tarantino films I haven't seen.
Have you seen the Kill Bill series?
Yeah, I've seen 1 and 2, but the third one doesn't count.
Wait, there's a third one?
Yes, but it's written by Tarantino, but it's not directed by Tarantino. I think that's what it is.
No way.
So
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Kill Bill 3?
It's not part of...
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't see any Kill Bill 3.
There's something about it. I don't know.
Apparently there's like, maybe they might make a Kill Bill 3. There's something like that when I typed it in, but...
Yeah, I see that, but it's apparently not going to come out or something. So
Hey, maybe that's...
I was wrong.
Well, maybe not, though. Have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? Maybe you have watched Kill Bill 3, but it didn't exist, like, in this universe, but it did in yours when you were, like, a little younger.
Well, I obviously never watched it. I'm just saying I watched 1 and 2, but never the third one. But I think what I'm getting it mixed up with is because they consider Kill Bill 1 and 2 to be a single Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's kind of like, it's not even really a 1 and 2 at the end. It just says Volume 1 and then Volume 2.
Yeah, so they consider that to be like 1 versus 2 of his movies. That's why he's only coming out with 10 movies, but he's written 10 already. So,
Have you seen Django Unchained? That's my personal favorite.
That is like my favorite movie. Like, it's a top 3 for me. So
it is super good. What'd you think of I haven't seen the one with the 8 people. What was it called?
Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen that. Don't really want to watch that. I heard it's not the best.
Long. It has an intermission. It's not his best movie, but it's still really good. I liked it, but I don't think it's like, it's not like a movie that I would suggest to everyone.
What do you think of the last one that he made? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I loved it. It was a good storytelling movie. I loved the ending. The freaking...
the ending is so good.
The torch.
Oh my god.
The flamethrower. Sorry, spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen the movie at this point. But it's once again, it's like probably like number 4 around there on his films for me. I know Reservoir Dogs is really good. I've yet to see it. I think that's the only film that I haven't seen of his.
Yeah. I've Yeah, I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs either. I haven't watched any of the Kill Bills. I haven't watched. There's this weird one called Death Proof. Have you seen Death Proof? That's like one of his forgotten films, kind of.
I don't know. That's considered to be one of his 10 films.
It's not one of the 10 films, but it's one that he made. Like, it has oh my gosh, it's a grindhouse film, pretty much.
What's it called? Death Proof?
It's called Death Proof. It's got Kurt Russell in it. It's about like women and cars and feet. And I think like the main bad guy is a guy who drives around in a car and just runs people over.
I don't think it's written by Tarantino. Oh, no, it's definitely written, directed, and shot by Quentin Tarantino. Never mind.
Yeah.
Its box office was only $30 million, though. That's really bad.
Yeah. I don't think people consider that one of the 10 films.
Yeah, it cost $30 million to make it, and they made $30.5 million.
Damn. People do say though that it's like his horniest film. Like that's the one that has the most feet in it.
I was about to say, is there a lot of feet in there?
Yeah. I mean, but also, God, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had a lot of feet in there too.
It sure did. Sure did. The movie theater scene in particular.
Oh my God, the Margot Robbie feet. Oh, Lord.
That's like one of my favorite like facts about Quentin Tarantino, or not facts. It's whatever. It's fan based facts that he has a foot fetish or whatever.
I guess I want to go a little bit on that because I think it's funny that he kind of accepts the fact that he will put feet in the movies because he likes feet, right? But what I think is despicable is other people who do that in their movies, but it's like in kids' movies or in kids' shows. And that I will never understand. It's like people who have a weird fetish and like, how am I going to implement my weird fetish into a kids' series or show? I'd say like the best examples of that would be anything that Dan Schneider made for Nickelodeon. And the Totally Spies. Have you ever watched Totally Spies, or do you know about it?
No.
It's a weird European show that I think is actually entertaining, but it does get very fetishy. Like any fetish you can think of on DeviantArt, they've made an episode centered around it. So I just think it's really funny.
That reminds me of The Incredibles. Why they gotta make Elastigirl like dummy thick?
Oh my Lord. Everyone working at Pixar, when they make a mom, they just take the booty slider and just went... I guess we know that Disney's an ass guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's pretty funny. I can't wait for the next Pixar thing where they just make the mom like dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
God.
They gotta entertain the adults somehow.
Yeah. There's this terrible Shadman comic where like a dad goes to see The Incredibles 2 and he has like his daughter sit on his lap, but then it shows like the scene where it just shows Elastigirl's ass and the dad gets like excited and then he goes to jail because he had his daughter on his lap.
Oh.
It's really bad.
Oh. All right, let's move on to a different subject now.
You gotta talk about Shadman somehow. Apparently he's a really good dancer. There's like a video of, do you know about Shadman at least?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, then,
Well, maybe.
never mind.
Shadman?
Don't type it. Don't type, you will regret it. He is probably the most well-known and popular porn artist on the internet.
Shadman, no. With The Incredibles next to it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's all he does.
Oh no.
In his live streams where he draws, he's known for wearing like a skull mask.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
And there's a video of him, apparently, it's not confirmed, but there's a video of him like at a music festival and he's dancing like swing dancing. And he's actually really good. So he's talented in two areas.
Yikes.
Well, I'm sorry I introduced you to Shad, man.
I had to clear my history after that. I actually didn't see anything bad. Let me show you what I saw. Let me pull it up real quick.
You gotta share your screen.
It was just the implementations of it. It wasn't anything like super bad or anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is just what I saw. This thing right here. But it's just like the faces that they're making. That is really intriguing.
Yeah, there you go. Like you see there's like that God, where? Oh, the operators from Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Wait, I wanna try to. Oh my God, there's so many. Oh my God, it's so bad. There's this one for Kim Jong-un's sister.
Alright, that's enough of this.
He made one of like that female character from the Emoji Movie.
Oh.
He'll literally do anything. Well, now that we've made this cast extra awkward, would this be a good stopping point or any closing remarks? Because we're at, as far as my recording goes, I'm at 1 hour and 11 minutes.
That's what mine's at too.
All right.
But we started like 15 minutes in, so do you have any closing remarks to make, I guess?
Yeah, I guess time for me to look nice and wholesome. For anyone that's a content creator or just have a passion in life, just keep going at it, because if you really enjoy it, then you can find a way to make money from it. And in the end, we all have to admit that our purpose in life is to make money, because without it, I mean, we're gonna die. It's the cold hard truth. But there is ways where if you work hard with your passion and the things that you love doing, you are able to do it. And even if you can find money off the side with a job that you don't like, but you can still find time to do things you do like, I think that's like the best thing you can do in your life, is just find a way to be happy in the end. So those are my 2 cents. Don't use iFunny. Don't look up Shadman. Do watch Corridor Digital. Do not watch my videos. And do watch Matt Lewis's videos, because they are really good and his photography is really neat, and they make me happy.
All right. Well, Eli, thank you so much for talking with me for about an hour. I really appreciate it. We'll have to do an episode later down the road.
Of course.
Maybe when we become, maybe when I hit like 500 subscribers or something like that. But yeah, so anyone that made it to this part of the video, or you just fast forwarded or whatever else, thank you guys so much for listening into this episode of the podcast, the second episode ever. And just to give a preview of next week's podcast, I am talking with a photographer. Her name's Tyra James, and she went out and shot the protest, so I'm looking forward to speaking with her and sending that podcast episode out. So yeah, thank you again for listening in to this podcast episode, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next episode.